Hey everybody. Nice to see you all. If you're here, say hi. Hey Sabrina. Hey Brett. Hey Skip. Hey Lev. So lovely to see you all today. Just twiddling some knobs for a minute. Tell me when you've had enough E. There's some E for you. Hey. Fade some of this out. Hey, Andre. Very Celtic, you're right. I don't know what got into me today, Michael. I have no reason to think that music from the north filled my blood today, but it did. All right, there we go. I think we can just talk for a minute. Yeah, I guess it's the pipes in the background, isn't it, Michael? Right? Is that what does it for you? I mean, that makes the Celtic thing happen? That's the make noise sound hack telharmonic, giving that lovely fifth there that nothing else can quite achieve. Anyway, how are you all today? Hey, Neil is over on Twitch. That's great. Let me put my restream up here so everybody can see it. So those who are on Twitch are not left behind with all the rest of the chat that's coming late from every place else. Isabel was telling me something about Facebook today, and I just forget what it was. About that it maybe wasn't so long, but anyway, yeah. We're hoping for more and more interactivity as things go on. It's much, much nicer to be able to speak to you in real time. So it's Sunday. Welcome to the December Daily. Today I've got questions for you. Gonna have to work for this one. All right, who's here? We got Michael, we got Andre, we got Neil, we got Sabrina. Okay, we got Skip, we've got Brett. Hey, quick notice. As soon as we finish the stream here, or about after we finish the stream here, our friend Brett Armstrong is going to go live in our Amplify This group. If you aren't a member of that group yet, that group is kind of for our folks who are going through our Level Up virtual presence classes. If you are in that group, please join us. If you want to be in that group, you can also just I think Isabel will put it in the chat. It's facebook.com/amplify this official. Anyway, Brett plays the bass. Brett plays the bass, loops in Mobius, and makes lovely music. In fact, he just put out his first and last record on Bandcamp last Friday. BrettArmstrongmusic.bandcamp.com. Kurt Hoffman is here. Man, Kurt, wow. So someday I'll have to tell you all. How about today? I'll tell you of this extraordinary rock and roll 8-piece group that I was so fortunate to be a part of, and Kurt was one of the reasons I got to be a part of that. Kurt and Fritz, they were, I think, making the big choices at that time. The group was called The Ordinaires, and it was my first rock and roll group ever that I played in the city. It changed my life. It changed my world. And every time that I see Kurt Hoffman do push-ups on Facebook, I think of those days. I think of the first rock solo that I ever played over Kashmir. And I think of, the first time I subbed for Mark Feldman. That was back in the day, wasn't it, Kurt? My goodness. I hope you are exceedingly well, Kurt. Kurt's kind of awesome. Ha. Yeah, it's true, right? Those were the days in the knitting factory, upstairs and downstairs where we used to play. So much fun. Yeah. So what's up for you on this Sunday, Kurt and everybody else? What's going on for you guys? Tell me all about it. No, Kurt, I'm not kind. Those were great days, and the Ordinaires were super, super important too, I mean, really. And of course, you were important to me, It was, there was this situation. It was me. Okay, first of all, I was bartending at Hula Hands, right? And of course, at Hula Hands, I don't know if you guys remember that chain or even whether it still exists or not. But I was bartending at Hula Hands out in Selden, Long Island. And the reason that I was bartending at Hula Hands was to make money, duh. But the reason I was out on Long Island was I was going to school at SUNY at Stony Brook. I was getting my master's degree without a bachelor's. Still don't have a bachelor's. I'm a high school dropout. What do you know? Anyway, so I was at Hula Hands, and we would make these drinks at Hula Hands. Oh my God, it would be soft serve ice cream that was still soft, right? And you would make coffee drinks, then pour liquor in, and then pour this soft serve ice cream in. It's like that single cup of coffee must have been like 5,500 calories. It was just crazy. So anyway, I was sitting there at Hula Hands, and of course they would have newspapers for all the people who would come in and read the paper while they were drinking. I don't know, but I saw Village Voice, and I saw an advertisement. Actually, it wasn't an advertisement; it was an article for this band called the Ordinaires, and it had 2 saxophones in it, drums, 2 violins, a cello. Cellist's name was Garo Yellen. Garo was a part of the They Might Be Giants crew, and also played the band's Visit on Broadway before Broadway shut down. Anyway, so I was there bartending one Sunday, I think it was a Sunday, just like now. And because there was nobody in the bar, I got let out early, and there was a 10 o'clock gig or whatever. I raced to Stony Brook to see if anybody was like sitting in what we used to call the fishbowl, where everybody would gather. And Greg Hesselink, wonderful cellist, was there. And Greg went in with me, and we went in to watch the Ordinaires play. And I was so blown away. Completely instrumental band. And it was such a wonderful experience. And I, about that time, was beginning to find my own cojones, so to speak. So about talking to people, after gigs. So I went back and I talked to them, and I was like, if you ever just need a violinist to play even for rehearsal or whatever, I would love to join you. Turns out that Robin, one of their violinists, was pregnant, and and was going to not be playing with the band anymore. And they invited me to a rehearsal like 2 days later, and I came and I did the rehearsal. I made the gig, and I got to join them for a little while before things started to go away. Yeah, Neil. I mean, I think shit is the word that you're looking for, Neil. There, I don't know why the parentheses and but let me help you with that. Yes, I was. I must say it was very, very short, and with as long as those folks were there and doing that work, I still feel a little Kurt. I still feel a little bit uncomfortable saying I was a member, because they did so much work, so many videos way before I got there. And then when I got there, it was kind of time for everything to change and for everybody to go about their own business a little bit more. But I wasn't on any records, Neil. I don't think I was. Was I, Kurt? I don't think so. I did a couple of, actually, Kurt Hoffman was also the first person to give me an opportunity to participate in a soundtrack that he was writing. I think he and Fritz were writing for something. And, all of us who write soundtracks, all of us, at times we bring in, musicians, and we say, hey, would you watch this and play to this? Watch this scene and play to this and to see what you come up with. It's a way of getting ideas. It's a way of collaborating. I love doing that. And in fact, I do it in my own work all the time, because that's how I make soundtracks, is just, play to picture, right? So anyway, Kurt brought me in and said, hey, would you do this here? Would you do this here? And I did. And then he's like, oh, and there's this one other cue, you just want to watch it and improvise and just play to something, play to this cue. And, do you want to hear the dialogue or not? I think I chose not to the first time through. And it was so much fun that it got me addicted to playing soundtracks. To making soundtracks, actually. Speaking of soundtracks, I got to call Ruth, our friend Ruth, who wrote this great book called The Water Tree Way, which we are working our way through. And got to call her and see if I can't get her to come on and tell us a little bit about it. She's really awesome. She teaches film scoring at Berklee. First woman. First Native American woman also to be employed as a film scoring composer at Berklee. So many things happening. Oh my goodness. The news is crazy with good news and bad news. Oh, hey, Andre says that the great Glenn Max, who booked there, was the doorman and Firebrand, who I never knew, Andre. Never met him, never knew that name, never heard that name. Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, I forget. I can tell you who was in it. It was this terribly awkward guy. Oh, God. His name will come to me. He wasn't awkward, but he would often play awkward characters. You will remember. It'll come to you, Kurt. It was really... what was the name of the movie? Damn. He doesn't do a lot of work, but I'm going to say the person that I would connect him to as far as appearance goes kind of would be John Turturro, but it wasn't John Turturro. It was, when I remember his name. Crispin Glover. There you go. There you go, Kurt. That's it. Anyway, yeah, you had a big, big, big part in my life in that way, Kurt, and I thank you. It is nice, to pull these memories, especially as we're building new memories from this past 1 year, this past 6 months, this past 4 years. We're building all these new memories as things so topple and like topsy-turvy change in our world. It is nuts. I was listening to somebody today talking about how, of course, I think you all are probably familiar with this neuroscience concept that our memories, we retell ourselves memories and we rebuild our memories. And it's just like our skin, right? It's just like, you don't keep your skin for more than 6 months or something. You regenerate. I'm sure all my numbers are incorrect. Andre, I'll bet you, will have his numbers right at his disposal, though. But the idea that we rewrite our memories, right? So the memories that you have from youth aren't really, truly the things that happened or how they happened. They're slightly modified as we continue to play a game of telephone in the reconstruction of our memories. Some of them we don't even have, right? Like Kurt, it took a minute for you to grab a hold of that memory of us in that recording studio, right? Anyway, that's what happens when people show up here from my beautiful, beautiful past, which I cherish quite a bit. So anyway, so listen, I have questions for you. Isabel and I are building. Now you can see that we have our right over here. Let's see if I can point. Amplify this December daily. So you can see that we have an enterprise going here. Amplify this. Every single musician that I know is rebuilding and is reinventing, because that's not only what we do as freelancers, but it's also just what we do whenever we need to, because that's part of the artistic process. That is part of the creative process. So we have done that too. And in fact, we are helping or making an avenue to support others in doing the same. So that's what Amplify This is, making musicians louder. Brett Armstrong is one of those musicians, so you can go see him stream and Amplify This right after this stream. He's a great bass player and musician. Anyway, point being that Isabel and I, in fact, this weekend, are digging down into one of our next projects, which are, well, you could call them think tanks, right? So the questions that I have for you today are as follows. Let's say that you were invited to something like this. Let's say that I was going to put you in a room with 9 other people. And the goal of this hey, love you too, Kurt, and the goal of this time together was going to be reimagining your career, your project, the music world in general, the way that we distribute and create art for others, the way that we deal with the people that we so often classify as the other side. It's like what the people that we want to support and get behind, right? The voices who have been oppressed and suppressed for so long, the voices that we now want to, because somehow, especially we white people, we have all of a sudden we had a come to Jesus moment over the past year, watching what we've all known but have not been paying attention to for so long. So those voices that we wish to amplify, it's like, how do we do that? What are some of the ways also that we can reimagine sustainability in the world? And when I say sustainability, I don't mean, well, let's talk about what I do mean. When I mean sustainability, it's just the avenues to making art, the avenues to having the people around us that we want to have, the sustainability of being able to have channels to express ourselves, and also sustainability in the sense of not exhausting ourselves to make a living, to be able to serve others, to be able to do what we do, to be able to dig down and use the tools that we've spent so long crafting, and use the spirits that we have been so long attempting to nurture. What happens when we come together? What happens when 10 people come together who don't even really know each other that much? Some may not. But what happens when they get in a room and we start to ask questions? And we start to really imagine things outside of any box that any one of us knows. What would those questions be? You got an existential question that like comes to mind? Put it in the chat. I would love to hear what kind of conversations you would like to have in a think tank. And by the way, if you would like to be part of one of these think tanks, please let us know. Message us, email us, whatever. These think tanks will be occurring. I just don't know exactly when. There we go. Yeah. So look at my lower thirds. They're a mess today, aren't they? Here, let me get rid of this one. There we go. Yeah. So we're going to be opening this up for application soon, and also just individually, reaching out to people as those applications come in, and just seeing what people are interested in. So if anything occurs to you, may we bother you to give us some ideas of what you would like to see in a think tank program. It would be one Sunday, perhaps, for like 2 or 3 hours. And lots of interaction between people, groups of people, and kind of sharing and designing real, fantastic, imaginary, way bigger than we can think of scenarios together. And then discussing what would it take to bring those things to pass. Some people have money to bring things to pass. Some people have supporters. Some people already have enormous connections to bring things to pass. And often they kind of take the forefront. Somebody's got a bunch of money and got a donor or whatever. And that's what makes it possible to kind of pull everything together. It's great when you got that. The whole not-for-profit world is like that. And it can take years to do so. But what about us? The one-offs. The people who were working in a certain direction, and then all of a sudden everything changed, and now we're working in a different direction, trying to make other connections. And not connections for networking, darn it. The reason that we're doing this December Daily thing is I don't know, 17-fold. It's a lot of different reasons. But one reason is that we just want to connect with people. Another reason is I want to set a bar for myself and say, hey, can you actually be consistent? Because sometimes I haven't been too consistent in my life. I'd like to be more consistent. So trying to just do something to take us further in life by creating something consistent, including a consistent connection. That's why I ask you to say hi if you're in the chat, because I'd really, really want to connect with you. So yeah, that's what the think tanks are about, and that's our next project that we're going to be working inside of very soon. Until then, level up your virtual presence. We have a couple of people on this feed who've done that program with us, January 9th and 10th. Please, there's an Eventbrite link in the description. Please feel free to click that link and join us for that. There's Jake Holmes. Hi, Jake. And so yeah, join us for that one, because it's and then we're also going to be offering very soon after that a Level Up Your Virtual Presence 2, which will be dedicated to streaming and actually getting people physically online. If you would like to try your hand at streaming in any way in a safe environment where you don't have to worry about all your friends seeing you because you don't know what you want to say yet, come in to Amplify This. You can totally stream to Amplify This through Ecamm Live, Restream, anything. So yeah, just come in and stream and say hi. Now, I don't have a ton of people in that group yet, so I'm looking for more. And I wanna fill it with people who are really, really working towards something. But I'll always be there. So if I see you going, I'll come say hi. If I'm at all remotely free. And Isabel. Hey, Andre. Andre says the rest of us need basic monthly income. Tax Bezos, tax the giant mega churches. Ugh. Yep, Andre, I cannot agree more. We've got food deserts. We've got a bunch of people who are about to be evicted in February. I don't think any of us are ready. I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think it's a stretch. I think you all know all about this, but it's about to get to a really dangerous point where, unless something else happens, we're going to have people out on the street. We're going to have an increasing homeless population. And how are we going to deal with that? Because we, you and me, we will deal with that if there is no help. So that's something that we should think about this Christmas. I need to make a living. You need to make a living. And there are our brothers and sisters. All right. That's kind of what I got for today. And I want Brett to have a chance to go off and do his stream. So let's, I'm going to book off of here and go over to Amplify This. You'll find that it's facebook.com/amplifythisofficial. And if you're not already a part of that group, become a part of it. And I'll go over there and watch Brett do some streaming as well. And then we'll make tacos. It's tacos tonight. Last night was pad thai. Didn't taste a thing like pad thai, but boy, was it good. We will keep practicing. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. This was really fun. Throw the music back up. Be well till we see you next, which I hope is tomorrow. You too, Andre. Thank you always for your clarity and positivity. Neil, thanks for staying with us. Thanks to all of you who joined us. Be well. Have a great evening. Hug someone you love. Hey, Teddy.